Hey guys, this is Amit and you are watching Tech Dad. In this video, we are going to compare between Poco M3 Pro versus Realme 7 Pro, and we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips, and about the prices. In the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let the comparison start with the camera of the devices. Talking about the rear camera of the devices, M3 Pro have triple camera setup, 48 megapixel of wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. Whereas 7 Pro comes with quad camera setup, 64 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of macro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it have quad camera setup and which have ultra wide sensor. And about the front camera of the devices, M3 Pro have 8 megapixel of wide camera, whereas 7 Pro have 32 megapixel of wide camera. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it has 16 megapixel of wide camera. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. M3 Pro have dual LED flash, HDR and panorama, whereas 7 Pro have LED flash, HDR and panorama. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have dual LED flash. And about the video recording options in the devices, M3 Pro can shoot Full HD video max at 30 fps and 7 Pro can shoot 4K video max at 30 fps and Full HD video max at 120 fps with gyro electronic image stabilization. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it can record in 4K and it have gyro electronic image stabilization. Moving to the performance of the devices, let's start with the operating system of the devices. M3 Pro have Android 11 support. On the other side, 7 Pro also have Android 11 support. So it's a tie. And about the user interface of the devices, M3 Pro have MIUI whereas 7 Pro comes with Realme UI. So it's a tie here because both of the devices have different UI. So it's up to you which UI you like it or not, it's up to you. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. M3 Pro is powered by Dimensity 700 5G based on 7nm processor, whereas 7 Pro is powered by Snapdragon 720G based on 12nm processor. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have higher processing speed. And about the GPU of the devices, M3 Pro is packed with Mali G57, whereas 7 Pro is packed with Adreno 618. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it can give you more FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. M3 Pro can clock at 2.2 GHz based on octa-core Cortex chipset, whereas 7 Pro can clock at 2.3 GHz based on octa-core Creo chipset. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it have little bit faster clock speed. And about the RAM variants in the devices, M3 Pro have two RAM variants, 4 and 6 GB, whereas 7 Pro also have 6 and 8 GB of RAM variants. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it have a higher capacity of RAM. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. M3 Pro comes with two storage options, 64 and 128 GB, whereas 7 Pro comes with two storage options, 64 and 128 GB. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have faster read and write speed. And about the external storage of the devices, M3 Pro have dedicated card slot, whereas 7 Pro also have. So it's a tie here. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. M3 Pro have 6.5 inches of display. In the other side, 7 Pro also have 6.4 inches of display. So it's a tie here because both of the devices have approx the same display size. And about the screen to body ratio of the devices, M3 Pro have 83.7%. whereas 7 Pro have 82.7%. So again it's a tie because both of the devices have approx the same ratio. Let's talk about the screen resolution of the devices. M3 Pro comes with Full HD Plus display. In the other hand, 7 Pro have Full HD Plus display too. So it's a tie. And about the display type of the devices, M3 Pro have IPS LCD display having 90Hz of refresh rate, whereas 7 Pro have Super AMOLED display. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have 90Hz of refresh rate, which is ideal thing for a gaming device. Moving to the body features of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. M3 Pro have 8.9mm of thickness, whereas 7 Pro have 8.7mm of thickness. So it's a tie here because both of the devices have approx the same thickness. Talking about the weight of the devices, M3 Pro comes with 190 grams of weight, whereas 7 Pro have 182 grams of weight. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it have lighter body weight. And about the protective glass of the devices, M3 Pro have Gorilla Glass 3 whereas 7 Pro also have Gorilla Glass 3 Plus. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it have slightly better glass. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. M3 Pro have plastic back with plastic frame, whereas 7 Pro have plastic back with plastic frame. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same build quality. And about the SIM options in the devices, both of the devices have dual nano SIM support, so it's a tie. Moving to some of the most important features of the devices, let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. M3 Pro have side mounted fingerprint scanner. In the other side, 7 Pro have under display fingerprint scanner. So the winner here is M3 Pro because it have faster scanner. And about the sensors in the devices, M3 Pro have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass, whereas 7 Pro have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity and compass. So again, it's a tie. Let's talk about the battery capacity of the devices. M3 Pro have 5000 mAh of battery capacity, whereas 7 Pro also have 4500 mAh of battery capacity. So clearly the winner here is M3 Pro because it have bigger battery capacity. Let's talk about the charging speed of the devices. M3 Pro have 18 watts of fast charging, whereas 7 Pro have 65 watts of fast charging. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it can charge up your device faster. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. M3 Pro comes with normal speakers, whereas 7 Pro have stereo speakers. So the winner here is 7 Pro because it can produce immersive sound. And about the headphone jack of the devices, M3 Pro have 3.5mm of headphone jack, whereas 7 Pro also have, so it's a tie. Moving to the communication chips in the devices, starting with the WLAN of the devices. Both of the devices comes with Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi direct and hotspot, so it's a tie. And about the Bluetooth version of the devices, M3 Pro have 5.1 generation of Bluetooth, whereas 7 Pro also have 5.1 generation of Bluetooth. So it's a tie because both of the devices have same generation of Bluetooth. Let's talk about the positioning chips in the devices. M3 Pro have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS, whereas 7 Pro have AGPS, GLONASS, BDS and Navic chip. So clearly the winner here is 7 Pro because it have Navic chip. And about the USB connectivity of the devices, M3 Pro comes with 2nd gen of Type-C connector, whereas 7 Pro also have 2nd gen of Type-C connector with OTG support. So the winner here is 7 Pro. Moving to the price of the devices, in the international market, starting price of M3 Pro is around $180 and 7 Pro is available from $250. In the Indian market, M3 have starting range from 16,000 rupees, whereas 7 Pro is available from 18,000 rupees. So the conclusion of the video is, in the camera, the winner is 7 Pro. In the performance, the winner is M3 Pro. In the display, the winner is M3 Pro. In the body segment, the winner is M3 Pro. In the features of the device, it's a tie. In the communication chips, it's a tie. And about the prices, the winner is M3 Pro. So the decision is totally yours. Which device you like the most so far, and let me know in the comment below. What do you think, which device is better for you? So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content, please like our video, share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what you thought in the comment below. If you're watching this video on Facebook, please like our page TechDad. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Amit and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.